hacky sack. Alright guys, I think hacky sacking is probably one of the best games to play for a martial artist or anybody that wants to build a strong foundation in their base, in their legs. So, as you've seen the little clip there before, there's a lot of single-legged kicking and posturing, a lot of eye-foot coordination, and so whenever I toss this to the students here at Rewild U, and although some of them are maybe naturally athletically inclined or something like that, I toss it to them. Oftentimes, you know, there's 1, 2, and they miss a line the next kick, and that's where I began. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago when I started this, and I don't practice this enough to be an expert by any means, but I like to use it as a little warm-up exercise for before I do a form practice, my Tai Chi form, or might be doing some push hands here in a little bit. I like to get my blood flowing beforehand, other than just like going into something from a very still body. I like to come into an active body. So anyways, you're constantly managing a ball on your foot, and it's a lot different than I bet any of you could probably get this down within a few minutes. But that's because we're constantly focused on our hands. That's our mode of being. But our feet are really maybe the most important part of our body, although hands are really overemphasized. Our hands do a lot of our storytelling, expression, but without our feet specifically, maybe even just want to get real narrow, our toe and our ball of our foot, the really active components of our feet, we may not be able to tell a message quite as easily. We may not even be able to open up a door quite as easily. I'd be curious if anybody's ever had foot injuries that have been so debilitating that they have to have a cast on it. I've never had that. How that might have affected how their body, how their arm communicated with the rest of the body, if there was a disconnection because of flies everywhere, because of lack of connection at the base. But anyways, I just want to encourage everyone to buy a hacky sack, a couple dollars. Some fellow is probably selling it at the farmer's market, or some handmade ones, or some local store called Funky Fusion or something like that. Buy yourself a hacky sack, give it a shot, and let me know what you think. Or if you've practiced hacky sack yourself, do you acknowledge the fact that it's probably one of the best exercises you can do to get in touch with your lower half of your body? A lot of people seem to struggle with, like when I'm teaching kicking, with keeping one leg firmly on the ground at a time, being in a single weighted posture. And I think that this helps develop that without actually thinking about developing it. It just kind of forces you to, because when one foot's in the air, one's got to be down on the ground. Give it a shot. To step it up a bit, if you get too good with shoes on, you can do it barefoot. Woo. A lot less surface area. To make contact with, but this is actually it's actually how I taught myself in my house, barefoot during the winter. Oh, chicken. Again, get too good with shoes on, do barefoot.